All right, Saturday night, we saw a new UFC heavyweight interim champion crowned. Of course, that man is Tom Aspinall. Went out there, defeated Sergei Pavlovich. And let me tell you, like I said, like I told everyone, he made it look easy. That is correct. Sergei Pavlovich was 6-1, knocked out everyone in the first round. Ridiculous power in the hands. I said, Tom Aspinall can use that footwork. He can use the movement. He can use the jab, use the in and out footwork, shoot a double leg takedown, take him down, make it look easy. But that's not what happened. We know that just 69 seconds into the fight, he knocked him out. Dropped him with a beautiful right hook, put him down, finished him off with a hammer fist. Now, first of all, I was confident. I was in New York last week. That's why I lost my voice. I was in New York. I was doing a lot of talking, did a lot of interviews and a lot of YouTube videos. So thank you all for watching them. But I said, listen, I'm very confident in Tom. But as the fight week progressed, I got more and more nervous, as I'm sure Tom did as well. But I'll never forget at the ceremonial weigh-ins when Tom and Sergei squared up to one another. I was like, oh my God, I was watching it in my hotel room and I was like, oh man, look at the size of this guy. This man is an absolute monster. And I was a little nervous. I was nervous for him. I'm not going to lie. No man alive should be confident going up against a man like that. Sorry, couldn't resist. And of course, Tom looked a little heavier than what he normally does, which of course is to be understood because he took the fight on just 2.5 weeks notice. Now, when it came to fight night, I was in Madison Square Garden. I was front row and I was sitting there and I thought, you know what? I'm going to pop backstage. I'm going to go and see Tom. So I went backstage and Tom is so humble. He's there with his father, Andy Aspinall, such a great man and such a great team around them all. They flew to Madison Square Garden from New York, all on a moment's notice. And they're all there, the entire team. And Tom's so humble, he said to me, have you got any last minute advice for me? And I just said, basically, listen, the octagon is a very, very big area. As you know, use all of that space. But then ultimately, I just said, Tom, be yourself. You don't need my advice, okay? Go out there. Do what you always do. Believe in yourself, believe in your training, believe in all the work that you've done with your team and your sparring partners, and they are big. Believe in yourself and you're going to be just fine. Now, when the fight started, of course, beautiful show of respect, okay? They embraced each other like that because, as Tom said, they're his opponents. They are not his enemy. And I got to say, that's very mature of Tom. He's only 30 years old, but he's got a very, very mature attitude. When I was fighting, my opponents were my enemy. I used to take it very, very personally, and I would get too emotionally invested. So well done to Tom for having that figured out so early, okay, and so young in his career, even though he is the interim heavyweight champion of the world. Now let's get to that. The fight started. Sergei goes at him, cracks him, catches him with a heavy shot, and oh my God, I was losing my mind. I was terrified for him. But Tom then got on his bike, fast footwork, lots of feints, feinting, level changing, boom, boom, landed a couple of shots, one shot lands, and then boom, boom, right hook. Wasn't even flush. It wasn't even like it connected, boom, flush to the jaw. It was kind of a glancing blow above the ear on the temple. Sergei hits the deck, and Tom just pounces on him, these vicious hammer fists. And that was that. That was all she wrote. Tom got clipped again, I missed it. Oh! But you already know that because I'm a little bit late to the table with this reaction video. So, first of all, well done to Tom Aspinall. Now, what's going to be next? That's the big one. You might have saw a video. The UFC showed everyone celebrating. I was losing my mind. That's where I lost my voice. And it went through. I was sat next to Dustin Poirier. There was Jamal Hill there. There was Juliana Pena. You know, all the big names in the UFC. Scrolls down. And at the end of them all, there is Stipe Miocic. And Stipe has just sat there like that. Now, there might have been a few reasons for that. Stipe is a great guy, and I've got a lot of respect for him, and he's had a wonderful career. Part of the reason might be because, listen, he might have thought, that should have been me in there. I was supposed to be fighting tonight. I should have been in there against Jon Jones. He's done about 8 months of work, and that moment was taken away. Now, maybe Stipe was sitting there thinking, wow, Tom Aspinall's the real deal. Maybe he was thinking, crap, that should have been me. That should have been me celebrating right now. Maybe he could have thought, that should have been me defeating Jon Jones, the greatest of all time. That's my moment that is stolen. Or maybe he's thinking, no man alive can beat that son of a bitch. Because Tom Aspinall looked that good. And here's the thing. I think Tom Aspinall goes on now a legendary run. There is a potential that this man could retire as the greatest of all time. Now, that's a big shout. A bold shout, and you're all going to come at me in the comment section for that. The Nurmagomedov fans, the Makhachev fans, the Jon Jones fans, okay? But right now, the greatest of all time is Jon Jones, and that's a fact. And he's probably going to fight Jon Jones, and that fight needs to happen. Even Tom Aspinall came out and said that he doesn't think the appetite is there right now for Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic, and he might have a point. Because right now the champion is Jon Jones. The interim champ is Tom Aspinall. And naturally, they should fight one another. Now, granted, this is a very unique situation. Jon Jones versus Stipe, this is kind of a legacy fight. There was a tremendous amount of hype. There was a tremendous amount of tickets sold for very, very high prices. And the pay-per-view was trending up very, very highly. So the UFC still want to do that. Jones still wants to do it. Stipe still wants to do it. So they're going to do it, okay? So you can cry yourself a river. You can get all worked up about it. You might as well just accept it because that's the fight that's going to happen. But Tom said he doesn't think the appetite's there. Tom said the fight should be Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. I agree with him in that regard, but the reality is Jones versus Stipe is going to happen. So what's going to happen with Tom in the meantime? Well, I think he's going to defend the belt. Probably not once, probably twice, and then he'll get a shot at Jones or at Stipe, who knows, maybe they both retire. And that would be a terrible look. If they both retire after they fight one another, well, the narrative is going to be that they are ducking Tom Aspinall. And it certainly would look like that. So if Jones wins, I don't think that's going to happen, and we will get that fight. But in the meantime, I think Tom's going to stay active. He's going to be busy. He's going to take on somebody like a Ciryl Gane. And that would be a sensational match upon the feet. Tom has the advantage in the grappling. He might take on Curtis Blaydes, the only man to defeat him in the octagon, although it wasn't even a real defeat. I won't take away from Curtis Blaydes. He did get the win, but as we know, Tom blew his knee out. So there's options for Tom Aspinall right now. There's options for him to stay busy. There's options for him to continue earning money. And right now, the UFC has the option of having the heavyweight division still progress while the legacy fight takes place. Because you can bitch and moan and complain about it all you want. We all want to see that fight. We all want to see Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic. So just get over it. Get used to it. That fight's going to happen, and I can't wait for it. And when that time comes, Tom Aspinall will be there to take on the winner. Now, I'm talking to Tom on Thursday on the YouTube channel. I'm doing an exclusive interview, so I'm going to ask him a lot of questions. So if you've got any questions for him, please put them down there in the comment section. But as I said before, Tom Aspinall has the opportunity here to become one of the greatest of all time, because the reality is, and it's a bold claim, I said it before, when he beat Marcin Tybura, I don't think Jon Jones could hold a candle to him. And Daniel Cormier called me up, as you know, you might have saw the video. I said, what are you doing, Mike? Why are you hyping this guy so much? That's why I'm hyping the guy up. The reason I was hyping him up before is because what he's capable of, what his father's done to him. He's molded him. He gave up his job 18 years ago to train Tom Aspinall for these moments, right? And when you look at the way he moves, when you look at the speed of the man hits as hard as Francis Ngannou probably. Granted, we don't know if it's quite as hard as a Ford Escort going 80 miles an hour, but it's fucking hard. It was hard enough to drop Marcin Tybura, hard enough to drop Sergei Pavlovich, probably hard enough to drop any heavyweight on the planet. And yeah, probably hard enough to drop a Tyson Fury or a Francis Ngannou. And then you combine the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, the footwork, the speed, the agility, the mental acumen, the fight IQ, you put it all together, and we've got a real fucking problem on our hands, guys. If you're in the heavyweight division, ooh, baby, you better watch yourself, because Tom Aspinall is going to be ruling the roost for quite some time. Now, of course, Jones, Stipe, that will happen, okay? But there is a new champ right now, and that man's name is Tom Aspinall, the third ever champion to come from the United Kingdom. Well done to Tom. Well done to the whole team. Well done to his father, his teammates, to Tom's wife, to his children, everyone involved. Enjoy this. This is a beautiful moment. And I text Tom, and I think this is true. He's going to defend that belt many, many times. He's going to go down as the greatest British mixed martial artist that we've ever seen. He's going to make a shit ton of money, and he's going to retire a very wealthy man. And you know what? It couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Subscribe, ring the bell. I'll see you soon.